Old Makuta had a farm, and it was full of some of the weirdest creatures you've ever seen. Hello everyone, I am Takuma, and these are the top 10 most unique Bionicle Rahi. Kicking things off at number 10, we have the Konohi Dragon. The Konohi Dragon is a massive creature that has amazing strength, can breathe fire and fly, and it has ravaged the city of Metronui more than once in its past. To our knowledge, this is the only one in existence, though there may be more, we've just never seen any sign of them. The Konohi Dragon has worked its way on this list as being sort of the Godzilla of the world. Coming in at number 9, we have the NIAZESK. Now, whereas every other Rahi that was created by the Makuta was supposed to serve some sort of special purpose in the overall ecosystem, either controlling populations or helping Matoran with tasks, the NIAZESK is notable for being a tiny creature that was designed only to help keep other larger Rahi in check. They have little venomous bites and they can sting creatures to get them to go where they want and control them. This unique purpose is why we put this little bitty creature at number 9. Coming in at number 8, we have the KAHGARAK. The KAHGARAK is notable not because it is a very, very large Visorak. In fact, the reason it makes its way onto this list is for the unique power of its Rotuka spinner. There are very, very few ways we know of to get in or out of the mysterious field of shadows, and the KAHGARAK's Rotuka launcher is one of those few. We've seen the KAHGARAK use this most often as a means to open up the field of shadows and let out the immense and dangerous Zevon. Coming in at number 7, we have the TAHTORAK. The TAHTORAK is another very large creature capable of great destruction by rampaging through a city, but it does not make its way on this list for that alone. The TAHTORAK was also used as a steed not only by the Skakti, but also by KEETONGU'S species when they were in their prime. The real reason the TAHTORAK finds its way to this point on the list, however, is because of the fact that the species at one point wanted to commit genocide. As was revealed to an Order of Metronui member by a dying TAHTORAK, they had planned to completely wipe the Skakti from the face of the universe because they were so sick of their constant infighting. Unfortunately for them, these plans did not come to fruition before the end of the universe. Coming in at number 6, we have the Monoko. These larger and arguably even more dangerous cousins of the regular Manas were used by Pterodax himself as sort of his ultimate guardian. He gathered a few of them and brought them to Metronui to his lair, although unbeknownst to him, at some point in time, the Order of Metronui had actually tamed the Monoko so that they would be loyal to the Order, and even gave them the mind-shielding abilities that any member of the Order is taught. Now, despite the obvious weakness in that they cannot see anything which is not currently moving, they are very strong and capable to completely disintegrate anything with a single blast. We don't actually know if the Monoko in Pterodax's lair are the only ones, or if there are more out there, but they certainly are not common. Coming in at number 5, we have the Crystal Serpents. Now, whereas most Rahi are created by the Makuta, the Crystal Serpents are the first and only time that Artaka tried his hand at creating Rahi. These large, crystalline-type snake creatures were impossible to tame, but Artaka couldn't bring himself to destroy them, so instead he just left them out on the outskirts of his island where they spend most of their time hibernating. Every once in a while they do wake up, however, and the Matoran on the island of Artaka have learned that they'd best stay away, lest they want the Crystal Serpents to actually gain power from the sun and use it to fry them to a crisp. At number 4, we have the Rahi Nui. This creature was created by Makuta Pterodax and used to hunt down Toa, and was even borrowed by the Dark Hunters for a time. This creature is like something out of a nightmare, and is said to have had the head of a Kane Ra, the arms of a Tarakava, a Muwaka's body, a Nuijaga's stinger, and the huge wings of a Nuirama. This creature also had a wide variety of powers at its disposal, including all 8 standard Kanoka powers. It could feed on elemental powers and thereby become immune to them. It could absorb elemental powers, being able to increase its size without increasing its mass, and could even detect the presence of elemental energy. Unfortunately for the creature, some of these powers were lost when it was defeated by the Toa Metru, but it's still an imposing physical form, if nothing else, and a very powerful creature that you do not want to tangle with. Coming in at number 3 on our list, we have KEETONGU'S species. Unfortunately, we do not know the proper name for these Rahi, but they are notable for being perhaps the most civilized of all Rahi species. Not only were they very intelligent, but they also possessed some very unique abilities. Among these was being able to cure Hordika venom so long as it had not taken full effect. They also had a way of sort of seeing into a person's soul, so to speak, and being able to tell how good or evil that being was. Finally, they had great strength and durability that could rival that of a Makuta. And it's a real shame there aren't more of these majestic creatures still alive. Our runner-up at number 2 is KRAHKA'S species. These creatures were wiped out long ago by the Visorak, save for KRAHKA herself, who moved to Metru Nui. These creatures were obviously very intelligent, as KRAHKA herself was able to learn the Matoran language just by listening to the Toa over time, but her more noteworthy abilities would have to be her ability to shapeshift into any creature she has seen, and even a combination of creatures she has seen. But not only can she shapeshift to look like these creatures, but she can act and sound like these creatures and even gain their abilities. There's actually a very prominent point in the story where we see KRAHKA herself take on the form of all 6 Toa Metru combined, making herself into a sort of quasi-Toa Nui, something that we've never actually seen in actual form in the story. And because of this, not only was she able to use all 6 of the elemental powers at once, but this makes her the only creature outside of the 6 different Toa that can create a Toa seal. There are obvious limitations to her power, however, as all the different things she was copying and different powers she was trying to combine were getting too much for her to handle, and eventually she could not hold the form for very long. Alright, boys and girls, hold on to your hats because it is time for our number 1 most unique Rahi of all time. And that Rahi is the Mountain. Yes, that's right, the Mountain is a Rahi. Many may think it is just another part of the Xian skyline, but the Mountain was once a very small rock, was actually sort of a side project of Makuta Mutran's, just for funsies or something, I don't know. But he decided to make a Rahi that was just a rock, yet it was still alive. Now, unfortunately, he accidentally left it behind when he went to Xia at some point, and as it sat there, it became larger and larger and larger by eating different things over and over and over throughout time, mostly eating the Xians himself, until it reached the point where it was not just a small rock, not just a hill, but an entire mountain, because it had consumed so much. And since this point, the Vortex have actually used the mountain as a sort of rite of passage. Anyone who could climb up the mountain and come back alive would be given better working conditions on this industrious island. Now, unfortunately, and as strange as it may be to say it, the mountain has died at this point. It's a big hunk of rock. It has no legs or arms, no means of moving, so when the Matoran universe fell over and went kaput, the mountain lost any sort of way to sustain its life, so it eventually either starved or in some other way died. Still, we have a rock for a Rahi that ate people until it became gargantuan. If that is not the most unique Rahi in existence, then I don't know what is. But, be that as it may, these are our top 10. What are yours? Leave your top 10 most unique Rahi in the comments below, and continue the discussion on the TTV Message Boards at board.ttvpodcast.com. I'm Takuma, and thanks for watching.